What happened here?
I'm fine.
Welcome to the wonderful life of the stay-at-home mom.
I'm the mother of two beautiful children, and I wake up every day grateful that they're here with me because they give me reason to live. I feel the same way about my job.
What is life like with 3 kids? It's really not that bad. I don't know why people complain so much about it. I love it.
Growing up, one of my favorite shows was Stepford Housewives. The housewife that I resonated with the most was always Bree, the quintessential housewife.
We typically do 3 hours of formal instruction at home. In the afternoon, we add on Chinese, Spanish, piano, and violin. While she's doing that, I'm also just trying to multitask a bit.
That effort that she put into trying to make her family's home life amazing is something that I always really admired.
We need to start acknowledging that there's something called the work-life imbalance and embracing that.
I feel like it's the best job in the world. If I only had known when I was younger, I think I probably would have chosen this lifestyle sooner and maybe had more kids.
It's okay that sometimes our jobs come first, and it's okay that sometimes our kids come first.
So what are the pros and cons of having a working mother? I can definitely name some cons. Number one is back-to-back Zooms. You had 5 Zooms today, back-to-back, didn't you?
We're going to hear from all of those women in just a minute. But first, joining us to kick this conversation off is Lara Bazelon. Lara, who you just saw, admits that there are times where she chooses her job over her kids. Lara, thank you for starting. Thank you for being first up at bat. Let me say that on this conversation because I know it's not easy. You're 46 years old. What does it mean when you say that you choose work over your children? Some people might interpret that as absent mom or not the dinner table thing we saw. What do you mean when you say that?
What I mean is that I think in life there's imbalance. There's times when my kids have my full undivided attention, and then there's times when my students and my clients and my writing has my full undivided attention. So I see it like a sliding weight. Sometimes it's sliding this way and sometimes it's sliding that way. And so to me, it's really about a work-life imbalance. And I think it's really important that women understand that that's natural and normal and okay.
We're joined now also by Lillian and Felicia. Felicia is a 27-year-old who aspires to be a traditional housewife. Lillian is a, quote, traditional housewife. She's a stay-at-home mom of 3 who believes career and motherhood are not intertwined. Lillian, let me start off with you. We heard Lara discuss the importance of prioritizing her career. You were once on the path to getting a doctorate, as I understand, but you saw that you wanted to be what you refer to as, what was the hashtag you said? Is it? Hashtag trait? What is it?
Trad wife.
Trad wife. What does it mean? I was so confused by that. I'm like, what is a traditional housewife versus is an untraditional? Am I an untraditional housewife because I work?
I think so, yes. But it's not just about career. It's actually more about the interaction you have between your gender roles. So traditional housewives tend to be where the man goes out to work and the woman, the wife, stays home.
And so how does that factor into your children and how you manage the house, I guess, as a mom?
They get to see that mommy stays home, that I submit to my husband and that I look to him to make the major decisions in our family. And yeah, that I'm inward facing. I keep the home, I cook, I clean, I educate them. And then my husband is the one who's outward facing. So he does all the yard work, but he's the one who also goes out and works and brings home the bacon.
That makes me laugh. It's like a commercial from the 50s. Not judging, but it's like he brings home the bacon and you fry it up in the pan. Listen, but I got a question about this because you say that if you want to make a purchase over $100, that he's the CEO of the marriage. Is he the CEO over raising the children? Because this show is really not about the balance of finances, which we're going to do. It's a balance of parenting and motherhood. So is he the CEO over the kids too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we call him the principal of our homeschool, and I'm the teacher. So he is the one who has the final say in what the children learn and kind of checks up on me and makes sure that I'm doing a good job with them.
So let me bring in Felicia, because Felicia, you are from the Bay Area. You're in your 20s. Your mother was a mom who worked in the home, correct?
No, so my mother was a working mother.
Okay. She was a working mother, but you grew up watching shows like Desperate Housewives. And so when you looked at your mom's life working outside of the home versus the life of someone who works in the home, you started to lean toward wanting to work inside the home and raise your children inside the home.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm definitely very inspired by Brie Vandekamp. I think that was just a fabulous character. But my inspiration comes mostly from seeing my mom and seeing the struggle that she experienced working outside of the home, but also wanting to be there for us for every school event, for every dance recital, and not being able to do that because she did have such a high-powered job. So in seeing that, I kind of thought about my own life and what I wanted for my future.
Ellen, my heart is racing, and I stumbled over my script a little bit because you remind me so much of my mom. You're a teacher, you're a librarian. My mother was a single mom raising me for the larger part of my life. She had to work multiple jobs at a bakery at night and then went and studied and all these other things. She didn't have a choice. When you hear us women who have this choice, if you will, of saying, I can stay in and work inside the home or out, how does that make you feel? Because you don't have, you're at work right now.
Yes, I'm at work right now.
How do you feel about this debate?
Honestly, I don't really have any feelings about it because it's not an option for me. I agree that motherhood is the most important part of my life, but I have to balance that with work because my kids need me to support us.
Do you believe when women have this conversation, we, for whatever reason, leave out the fact that there are women who have to work, that there is no backup plan? You are your backup plan. And so we have this debate, but we're leaving out a very real key component. Not every woman has this choice.
Yes, that is an important part of the conversation. With my oldest child, I took a 6-week maternity leave. I would have loved to have taken longer. And my husband at that time, I was still married. My husband was then with the children after I went back to work. But the reason I only took 6 weeks was that was all the paid time off I had. We couldn't afford for me to take unpaid time off.